Welcome back to another episode of Drive Dreams TV, the podcast, where we explore the principles of success, self-improvement, and living your best life. I'm your host, Srinivasan Gopal, and today we're diving into an issue that many of us struggle with, but often fail to recognize. The yes trap. You know that feeling of being constantly busy, but not really making progress on what truly matters. That sense of overwhelm and exhaustion that comes from juggling too many commitments. That's the yes trap in action. It's easy to fall into this trap. We want to be helpful, seize opportunities, and be seen as a go-getter. But saying yes to everything can actually sabotage our success. It spreads us too thin, leaving us feeling drained and unfulfilled. Instead of giving our best to a few key things, we end up giving a mediocre effort to everything. Imagine trying to juggle a dozen balls at once. You might keep them in the air for a while, but eventually you're going to drop a few. The key to escaping the yes trap is learning the power of a strategic no. Saying no isn't selfish. It's about creating space for what truly matters in our lives. It's about prioritizing our goals and commitments and ensuring we have the time and energy to excel in those areas. Think of it this way: every time we say yes to something, we're implicitly saying no to something else. Maybe it's a no to spending time with family, pursuing a passion project, or simply getting a good night's sleep. So how can we break free from the yes trap and start making more intentional choices? One of the most effective strategies is to ask ourselves 3 key questions before committing to anything new. First, does this opportunity contribute to my long-term aspirations? Interests. If it doesn't align with our goals and values, it's probably not worth our time and energy. Second, will this experience help me develop valuable skills or knowledge? We want to focus on opportunities that help us grow and expand our capabilities. And finally, do I have the time and resources to commit fully without sacrificing other important areas of my life? If we're already stretched thin, taking on something new will only add to the overwhelm. By honestly answering these questions, we can start making more conscious decisions about where we invest our time and energy. Now, I know saying no can be tough, especially when we're used to saying yes to everything. But remember, saying no gracefully and assertively is a skill that can be learned. Instead of giving a flat-out no, which can feel abrupt and dismissive, we can try phrases like, "Thank you so much for thinking of me, but unfortunately I'm not able to commit to that right now." Or, "I appreciate the offer, but I'm already fully committed to other projects at the moment." The key is to be polite but firm, and to explain our reasoning briefly without over-apologizing. Remember, setting boundaries and protecting our time is crucial for our well-being and success. Now let's dive a little deeper into the benefits of embracing focus and prioritization. When we spread ourselves too thin, we dilute our efforts and make it harder to achieve meaningful progress. It's like trying to water 100 plants with a single cup of water. None of them will thrive. But when we focus on a few key areas and give them our all, we create the conditions for excellence. It's like channeling that same cup of water into a single plant, allowing it to flourish and grow strong. So how can we apply this principle to our lives? One effective strategy is to create a not-to-do list. This is a list of activities or commitments that we're consciously choosing to avoid, so we can free up time and energy for what truly matters. It might include things like mindless scrolling on social media, attending every social event we're invited to, or taking on projects that don't align with our goals. By identifying and eliminating these energy drains, we create space for more meaningful activities. Another helpful technique is to schedule dedicated time for our priorities each week. This could be time for working on a passion project, learning a new skill, spending quality time with loved ones, or simply engaging in activities that bring us joy and recharge our batteries. By blocking out this time in our calendars, we make a commitment to ourselves and make it more likely that we'll follow through. Remember, success isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things with focus and intention. So how can we shift our mindset from constantly saying yes to embracing the power of no? One helpful tip is to reframe our thinking about saying no. Instead of viewing it as a rejection or a missed opportunity, let's see it as an act of self-care and prioritization. When we say no to something that doesn't align with our goals or values, we're saying yes to our own well-being and to the things that truly matter to us. It's like clearing the clutter from our lives so we can focus on what brings us joy and fulfillment. Another helpful strategy is to practice saying no in low-stakes situations. Maybe it's declining an invitation to an event we're not really interested in, or politely turning down a request to volunteer for a cause we don't have the time or energy for. The more we practice saying no in these smaller situations, the easier it becomes to say no when it really counts. Remember, it's okay to set boundaries and protect our time and energy. And I know some of you might be thinking, but what if I miss out on a great opportunity by saying no? It's true that saying no means closing some doors, but it also means opening up others. When we're not overcommitted and overwhelmed, we're more likely to recognize and seize opportunities that truly align with our passions and goals. Plus, when we're more selective about what we commit to, we're more likely to excel in those areas and make a greater impact. So instead of fearing missed opportunities, let's embrace the possibilities that come with saying no strategically. It's about creating a life that's filled with purpose, meaning, and joy, not one that's dictated by the constant pressure to say yes. Let me leave you with a final thought. The next time you're faced with a decision about whether to say yes or no to something, take a moment to pause and reflect. Ask yourself those 3 key questions we discussed earlier. Consider how saying yes or no will impact your well-being, your goals, and your overall sense of fulfillment. And remember, saying no is not a sign of weakness or selfishness. It's a sign of strength and self-awareness. It's about choosing to live a life that's true to yourself and your aspirations. So go out there and embrace the power of no. Create space for what matters most to you and watch as your life begins to transform. And as always, thank you for joining me on this journey of self-discovery and success on Drive Dreams TV. I look forward to connecting with you again soon. Until next time, this is Srinivasan Gopal, reminding you to stay focused, dream big, and drive your dreams forward.